Let me bring you to a real live murder mystery, okay? You see that guy? He's the sheriff of LA County. He's involved somehow, okay? There's a man who was suing the sheriff of LA County. He has now been found shot and dead, okay? Let me give you some background. A man was suing the sheriff of LA County. Villanueva is the sheriff there for being physically abusive to him during an arrest where he was assaulted, according to the allegation. All right. Although he was found by the Long Beach Police Department on 3/29, they did not notify his family until 4/5. All right. Now the family wants the AG or the Department of Justice to investigate, and they should. Let me put up a tweet from the lawyer. Okay. The lawyer of the men involved announced on Twitter about the death of one of his clients. Said, and I quote, "A few months ago, my clients, Larry Jefferson and Christopher Chambers, filed a lawsuit against Sheriff Alex Villanueva and the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department after being brutalized by several deputies. Recently, Larry was found dead after having sheriff's deputies sitting outside his family's home." That came from the attorney, okay? Let me give you background on the incident that caused the lawsuit in the beginning. Let's put up a picture of Christopher Chambers. He's an important person in this story. Last year, that man, Christopher Chambers, called emergency services to ask for help for his brother-in-law, Larry Jefferson, who was having a mental health episode, okay? When cops arrived to the scene, let's put up a picture of the scene. When cops arrived to the scene, deputies got out of their vehicle, shocked Jefferson with a taser, hit him with rubber bullets, causing him to fly backwards. Remember, this is a mental health call, right? Chambers, unarmed and wearing pajamas, then came out of his house telling deputies that Jefferson is not right in his mind, according to the suit. Despite presenting no threat, Chambers was held down by 4 deputies to the point where he could not breathe. Chambers was later taken to the South LA Sheriff's Station and charged with resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer. He was released from jail the next day, and then the charges magically dropped, okay? So what happened here? What do we know so far? Mental health call, a person going through a mental health crisis. Police respond, they physically assault the individual, criminally assault the individual, charge him falsely, take him to jail, and then drop the charges immediately. That's rare. When a cop drops the charges, that means they don't have an inkling of evidence to stand on, all right? Following the incident, LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva was sued, all right? He was sued for his alleged support of the deputies who used excessive force and committed multiple civil rights violations. That's what the lawsuit alleges. The lawsuit specifically says that that guy created an atmosphere within the LA County Sheriff's Department where civil rights violations are not only approved, but encouraged. And remember, not too long ago, I did an exhaustive story about gangs inside of LA County Sheriff's Department. We talked about it. Not only did the sheriff acknowledge that some of his deputies are in gangs, okay? He also acknowledged it's not a damn thing he can do about it. So yes, the LA County Sheriff's Office, they have a gang culture inside of the sheriff's office. Now I go a step further. I think virtually everybody there is part of a de facto gang at LA County Sheriff's Department. Last year, a journalist authored an investigation that talked about those gangs into the department ran by the sheriff. There are at least 18 gangs, according to this investigative reporter. At least 18 gangs in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. We're not talking about in the jail. We're not talking about incarcerated people. We're talking about the police, the cops who have their tattoos and their other identifying marks and handshakes. 18 gangs, according to the investigation. And they are allegedly tied to deaths of at least 19 people, all of whom, every single one of them, were men of color. All, no exception. And here's another game that they play that we found out. Every time, and there are cops doing this inside of gang culture in policing all across America. When they kill a black person, they bend their badge. They bend one of the stars back on their badge. And that's how they show how many bodies they have. These SOBs are sick. They're sick. They need to go to jail. All right, Adrienne, thoughts?
They do need to go to jail and something needs to be done. And we're acting as though, or at least I'd say society is acting as though they are the end all be all, the buck stops with them. But that's why you have federal enforcement. That's why you have DOJ. That's why you have investigations at a higher level. That's also why you have even the state attorney general conducting investigations. So where are these entities? When all of this is known about the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, yet what is being done? The fact that everyone knows this, but no one's really stepping in to intervene. Is it because they realize they're allowing the gang to get out of control? Then what's going to happen when they ended up taking over, when it goes even further? It's like they're allowing these diseases to spread. And then at one point when it's gonna kill us all, we're all gonna be sitting here like, why wasn't this stopped well in advance? I am perplexed.
Yeah, and that's why we got to stop talking reform and start talking replacement. There has to be a massive overhaul of the actual people that do policing for the culture of policing to change.